Today, part of the challenge is finding ways to tell a complete, incomplete story where you have the full arc, the beginning, and all the climax and all the events, and a closing, but keeping it incomplete, keeping it part of a bigger arc. And those that want to hear the bigger arc can come back, but it isn't every night, and it isn't, over a year.
It is still a big challenge in computer science to tell an interactive story. And we are far from having a professional storyteller like we have in the traditional oral storytelling.
His wife, نعيمة افتح الباب يا نعيمة. نعيمة بتفتح الباب, she opens the door. Ifridi, spread it all out.
People's attention spans have gotten shorter. It's exhausting to the audience to stay so focused for more than 40 minutes or 45 minutes.
Many people work in computer science on convincing stories and AIs with personas and agents. We are still quite far from having a good adaptive personal storytelling in digital games. However, technology is only a mean of delivering a story. So therefore, technology should never be a central part of the storytelling experience, except for the perceptual part. But the story can be a good story if it's told oral, if it's told in a book, in a film, or in a computer game. We have other means of telling a digital story, and that simply takes advantages of every kind of media we have. We can have a mobile gaming application, we can have an interactive chatterbot, we have a distributed media, we could have games with artificial intelligence as well. So there will be a lot of, let's say, endeavors to explore. So a lot of options how new technology can enhance the form of storytelling, and still we need good stories for that.
As my practice continues to evolve, I'm realizing more and more that it's wonderful having people come to you as a storytelling, and as a storyteller, that is something I need. I need the audience to be there, but I also need to be accessible to audiences in different ways. And I've taken to SoundCloud, which is an iTunes, and I've been produced for sound. And I've made stories available to audiences that they can hear them in their cars, they can hear them in other countries.
Some people really got a twist and made a story out of it, and then of course these films are much more entertaining as well. And then there are other people who just use the interview after interview, so they don't really have a story made of it, and then maybe it's not so much entertaining anymore. But still, we try our best to merge entertainment and education.
And the idea is to entertain his students. Before you leave, I'm going to say something funny, but at the same time they're used to teach students language, this flowery prose, right? So you teach students language using something entertaining. So yeah, they're definitely both. But this is not uncommon in Arabic literature, because the very term adab, and Maqamat are part of adab, is it's an intellectual curriculum, but also it's entertaining and educational.
So one of our projects is about decreasing fear and anxiety in medical situations. And here I clearly can see an advantage of virtual reality storytelling, where we can utilize new media and perhaps computer gaming environments with a strong story, just to decrease fear, to inform, or to playfully approach another situation where a person might suffer otherwise. new media puts a lot of stress on traditional storytelling because simply attention span of people decreases. So we expect short stories, we expect small rewards for every interaction we have, and that puts a lot of pressure on a traditional form of storytelling that requires time to discover a story.
Traditional storytelling, at least in the didn't have to compete with all the stimulus, all the technology, all the media that exists today. And I think that's something we have to work with as storytellers. How do we give a full, big story like that and not exhaust the audience, or just leave them at the right moment? To him and said, "Oh my goodness, that is quite the story." "Yes, now you owe me two," he said. I think that's the privilege of the storyteller and the privilege of me as a storyteller, to bring that perspective and bring my values of equity, of gender equality, of our need for kindness, our need for love, and even in the heroic tales and the epic battles, there's still room for that. And I think that that is our battle today.